So I want you to pay attention to something. I'm going to explain something to you right now after I show you LAPD stalking. Oh, that's LA Fire. Vibrating my office. Amplified audible activity over my office, and the light source is here. And I want to let you know what they specifically did this morning. And it doesn't matter. This is the entity that's already defeated with evidence of a secret crime that they're engaging in the state. So the entity ceased from aiming any impossible light activity, light that's not even naturally occurring. The entity ceased from aiming its light source as though the sun is rising, which it's not. It's an entirely engineered environment. I come downstairs to my office and the light source is all covered up, and then they wait until I get into the office and understand that's exactly what's happening because it's not the natural environment. Because they're looking at all the documentation that I'm on an ongoing basis providing you, that you're juxtaposing what the entity is doing here with what the entity has already been documented as engaging in. So while I'm in my office, then the entity is bearing its light source, which remains in the same exact location, which is speaking to the mimicking incorrectly, literally, illogically, idiotically, the environment that's the criminal system that's underway. Okay, period. And so I've already captured the phenomenon. I'm providing you ongoing examples showing you what is a surefire prosecution. The entity covers up its light source, which is in no way refuting, contradicting. It doesn't need it because I don't have to document one more hour. Okay, but I want to be clear the malice that the entity is acting with. First of all, that was LA Fire, and that's the same state, and everybody here is already going to federal prison, period. But I want to speak to the malice because this is what the federal government you're witnessing on an ongoing basis. While they're aiming light above my door in my room that has no light, the pattern of the blinds appearing above my bedroom door, the pattern of the blinds appearing on my ceiling. You have what are multiple shadows above my head, the leaves of trees that are dynamic appearing on my ceiling, which is light. All of that's just light activity, and it's entirely demonic. And then while this entity is witnessing me expose it, engaging in what is making a cloudy day, I don't care. That's just less video documentation for me to capture. The entity is already captured squarely, okay, with regard to what is a pattern of conduct. And if you didn't know, my documentation is not only explaining it to you thoroughly, it is an irrefutable case of criminal conduct by a government, unfathomable, but absolutely established. So you have LA Fire that's flying over right now, which is the same exact nuisance, the same exact criminal conduct of relevant positioning, and everybody at Alvarado Gardens, English speaking or not, is going to federal prison. This is a malicious system, and it's the same exact specific environment. It will never be deleted or erased or forgotten. The fact that the entity is rising the sun over this hillside in Los Angeles, California, and remaining with that same light source till the end of the day after 5 p.m. like I captured yesterday at 5:15 p.m. and then through my window as I captured at 5:47 p.m. when Amazon Prime is arriving in the same video where that same entity is on video right now stalking in a helicopter like they're doing 24 hours a day. And that's why everybody, buildings 1800 to building 1818 are going to federal prison here because they're providing what is 24-hour criminal surveillance with the government that's placing an American citizen under surveillance, and it's a criminal act, an unfathomable one. Okay, the entity is engaging in what is an unthinkable levels of malice. That's all it is. And that's what the demon possessed are, highly malicious. All right, dangerous psychopaths, literally ticking time bombs. Okay, so it's not just a matter of what is justice and prosecution and enforcement of my rights. It's spreading the word because there are people that are around you of a condition that you are not physically capable of looking at. And this is for your own protection, for your own information, because there are dangerous people out, crazy people out here. By crazy, I mean evil, not crazy like they don't know what they're doing, crazy as in malicious, and they are incredibly wicked. Okay, and this is with regard to what is your enforcement of your constitutional rights. And as I'm capturing this video, they can make it a cloudy day. Okay, because you're dealing with the demonic, Satan can make it nighttime. It will not in any way refute or undo what is a surefire prosecution, period. This level of malice is speaking to how long everybody's going to federal prison. That's what that's relevant to. I'm gonna let you know that right now. It's relevant to how long they're going to federal prison and how much damages they're going to be worth when they're engaging in what is workplace terrorism. That's Tiffany CHERREZ group stalking behind me with her daughter. She's going to federal prison, and all her children are going to be separated from her anyway. She's irrelevant right now. The entity is engaging what is a pattern of conduct, and everybody at Alvarado Gardens is going to federal prison. And that's why the government is so comfortable stalking day and night in helicopters, engaging in criminal surveillance. And it is welcomed. It is facilitated by the people of the state, and this is federal group stalking and monitoring. This level of malice is speaking to how long the federal prosecution is speaking to how long the people of the state that are living around the targeted individual providing that unlawful assistance to a corrupt entity This is a matter of public corruption, and they're engaging in criminal surveillance against an American citizen, one person against a whole government, okay? And everywhere that you go, that entity is surrounding and also engaging in terrorism while that demonic environment is surrounding. And then they have the audacity to place it where you live, inside of your private space. 24-hour terrorism, 24-hour sexual violence, 24-hour surveillance. And then you have LA fire crossing paths. So you already know, I want to be clear, the demons that are using their state vehicles, engaging in what is, like I said, we can look at video that's already here. The entity has already damned itself. There is no day, there is no hour, there's no moment where you can cover it up and go back. That's why you document, okay? The entity flying over by helicopter is the same conduct that has been documented and engaged in for a prolonged period of time in Los Angeles, as I'm documenting the exact same state, okay? This is Tiffany CHERREZ. She's going to federal prison. All right, it's period. She's going to federal prison while it's a cloudy day. She's going to federal prison while she's crossing path at nighttime. She's going to federal prison while she crosses path even while I'm asleep. It's 24-hour criminal surveillance that's going on. This is a crime scene. You live at the crime scene, you go to federal prison. All right, and she lives here with her children, and she's going to be separated from them because of that impunity and malice. It is currently 8:22 a.m., and you're looking at the rapid disappearance of what is engineered light, sunlight that's never going to be present in the first place, because the entity is documented as maintaining a light source over the Upland Public Library for the duration of the day. If you look at the compare the P.O.C. folder based on what Alvarado Gardens is doing here, all right, what the entity has going on here, the environment here, which is not the natural environment, and the environment that's documented remaining around me while the entity was stalking by helicopter, stalking by demons that are operating ambulances and fire trucks and police vehicles. All right, engaging what is an ongoing obsessive maintenance of criminal presence in the path while they're demons that are stalking in engineered light. That's what demonic activity is, and this is criminalization of that demonic system, which is achieving criminal surveillance. All right, and it's the state of California. So I just want to make sure, I'm glad you saw that helicopter, because it's not just the LAPD. You're talking about the federal government being alerted, which my documentation already establishes. They use their vehicles as a means of criminal summoning. They're literally engaged in what is ongoing obsessive stalking as an entity. Demons is the reality of their condition. Demons aren't doing anything other than focusing on the target individual, contrary to what they want it to look like on the outside. That's all a demon is doing. Carrying a laundry basket, going into the laundry room. Okay, well, you know what the environment is. You know the light activity in there. You know the amplification of everything that they're doing. A psychopath wants to look outwardly, and you're not looking just on the veneer. You're not deceived anymore. Everything that they're doing, including when they're driving down the street where I cannot see them, is about me. These demons are focused. That's why you have a whole environment around me. That level of psychotic stalking by a government is unlawful. It's surveillance. It's in violation of your constitutional and human rights. And this documented level of malice is going against the people of the state, because they're all going to federal prison here at Alvarado Gardens. That's where they're all going here. Everybody's going to federal prison here. Everybody. And the state is going to understand the federal government with regard to, you're not only disbanding LAPD, they're not only going to federal prison, you're speaking to what are mental examinations, but the entity is also going to be subject to what is the fire departments that are engaging in that criminal system. The entity is engaging in knowledge of those, the state that's driving ambulances, because they're monitoring with demons like this who are pacing all around while the entity sounds sirens, pacing all around while the entity is stalking in helicopters. All right, and that's the light source right there, by the way. It still remains here. Of an unnatural environment for a criminal system, in conformity to a body of evidence capturing a phenomenon, is already captured. And that's why you document, because there is nothing that the entity can ever do to erase it. And that's by virtue of this demonic level of malice, because the entity sought to mimic a natural environment, and you cannot mimic it. And once you capture it, you're stuck with it. It's currently, again, 8:25 a.m. This is P.O.C. That's Persis Bastillos, and that was Tiffany CHERREZ, engaging what is ongoing documented impunity. And they can pace around all they want, holding the hands that they can do all they want. Everybody's going to federal prison. Everybody. That's a matter of justice. This is P.O.C.